All right, guys, I just got home, opened this box up. Mimo sent over the new Seiko Arnie. So let's check it out together. I didn't do a whole lot of prep here, so you're just gonna we're gonna experience it together here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about the size. We're gonna do the measurements and we're gonna do a couple of compares before we get into some other stuff. So, because that's probably everybody's main question is the size. So let's just get right into it. So you got to remember it's going to be a tuna case here, basically. So case you're looking at about 47.5 millimeter. Does kind of taper up. Like if you were to measure at the bezel, the bezel is like 39.5 ish. And then what did I say that was? The case itself is about 47.5. But like I said, it kind of flares out. Your lug to lug. Now these lugs look like they're a little more straight. They do have some curve to them. You're looking at about 50 mil, just over 50 drilled lugs. So, I mean, it's not tiny, but I was wearing it a little bit ago. It wears great. 14.75 mil thick. Hardlex crystal sits below the bezel. This is actually kind of chamfered. If you guys can see that, it's like beveled in towards. It's kind of a different. I've never had the original Arnie. I don't know the model number on it. This is actually the you can see it's the patty. The reference snj027, suggested retail 525, but we'll talk about that some more too. Should be 22 mil lug width. I don't know if I can catch it with the strap on there, but yeah. It's going to be a 22 millimeter lug width. Now, if we measure with the crown, which, nobody ever does, just over 51 mil. So there's the size. But in comparison to, say, like the SBBN tuna, it's bigger. There's no doubt about it. But the SBBN tunas wear much more like a Seiko Monster, whereas this Arnie it's going to wear a little bit bigger, but it's totally fine. Here's that Citizen I just got in not too long ago. It's probably closer to that size, but it still has that Seiko magic. I'll give you a wrist shot right now. I can show it next to an SKX too, but that might scare you guys. There it is on my 7.25, and it has a lot of presence. It does not feel too big at all. So if you're 6.75 and up, I'm thinking you guys can wear this. I don't think it'll be an issue. It has a really nice silicone strap. It's very comfortable, and it feels great on wrist. So for the, I'll show it next to the SKX real quick because I know a lot of people have the SKX, and it's easy to compare that. So let's just do that real quick. So there it is next to the 009er. So definitely a larger watch, but the dial plays smaller, and that's because the dial is smaller. You have a lot more going on. You have that beveled inside there, smaller dial, and then you have the digital up top. So there's the case back, special edition, made in China, proudly printed with laser engraving on the case back. All right, so what do we have here, guys? We have a 200 meter water resist, of course. Dive bezel, plastic shroud, totally fine with that. I really actually like the contrast of, I don't know if it's just this model, because there's like the all black and white one, and then there's, I think, a goldish tone one. But I like the contrast of the lugs, the shiny lugs sticking out against the black plastic, and then the crowns all sticking out, also shiny. It has a really nice contrast on wrist. So we have a screw down crown, and I'm going to show you how that works, because that is different than any other crown you've had before. And then you have two pushers here that are going to do different things depending on what task you ask of it. So let me think here. This is the Solar Caliber H851 movement. There's a new booklet here for it. I'm not sure if this movement's been used before. I did a little bit of quick reading on it. It's pretty slick. I do have to point out that these pushers, they are screw down, but it's backwards from what you think. So you turn them counterclockwise, and that locks them in position, and that's how you hold your water resistance. Screw this one down, back these out, and that locks these pushers from being able to push in, which would allow water to come in. So if you want the water resistance, you have to back those out, stop that pusher from being capable, and then you're good. If you want to operate those, you do have to screw those in. So it's a little bit different than I've had in the past. Maybe it's been used like that before. So let's get into time setting, because the way this works is you unscrew this guy, and then so you pop it out, if you guys are seeing this, and you can see the seconds hand, or the seconds up there is flashing. So you can reset that, or you can go to minutes or the hour. And then you can do your date. I'm not going to change the date. So the day and the month and then the year. But let's mess around with the time. So you can do 24-hour time, and you do it right here with the crown. So you can go 24-hour time. You see that? Go forward, pull it back. It's going to put you on AM and PM. Now, if you go to seconds and you rotate this, it zeroes it out and advances the minute. So that's how you're going to set it to the atomic time or whatever you're doing. So now if you go to minutes, you can adjust those forward and backward just by turning the crown. And it all does it up here on the digital, but then when we push the crown in, you're going to see the time set on the analog section. It's going to go to what you set on the digital. So for example, like if we want to put that at 6:53, as soon as we push that crown in, it's going to all adjust out. Does that make sense? So pretty slick, I think so. Let's see. So, and then in the manual, you'll see for reference, this is your crown, this is A, and this is B. So that's how everything will be referenced. See, there's a couple other tricks it can do as well, I'm pretty sure. If you hold down B, it should show your battery level, and the bat 10 all the way down to like 1 or 0. So bat 10 is basically 100%. You can just wear it, no problem. And it will do a 2 seconds tick for end of life, but solar charges up pretty quick. I'm trying to think of what else it does. Yeah, so there's alarm functions, stopwatch. Alarms, yeah. I think you can do, yeah. I have to go through the manual. It does more things, so that might be a second time zone there. Yeah, so this is a second time zone you can adjust. Or I think they call it your home time. So you set this for your home time, and then you just adjust the other one as you're traveling. So there's all that. You'll have to read the manual. It's pretty easy to use, but it is different than some of the other quartz ones I've had. But it's nice that this basically controls everything, and you cycle it there, and then you just kind of go forward or backward there. It's pretty intuitive, I guess. Let's see, black dial, this is going to have dual loom. I'll do a loom shot here in a minute, red seconds hand. The ticks look like they hit pretty good. There is a way to, I don't remember how to do it. There is a way to realign the hands. I don't remember how to do it though, but yeah. So you can realign the hands. It's in the manual, and then so if one gets off or whatever like that, you can realign it. But like I said, I just glanced at the manual real quick, so I didn't get it too in depth on it. But I just mainly wanted to show you guys this real quick. 120 click bezel, pretty standard Seiko. This one's a little loose and a little not great sounding compared to some of the other ones I've had in the past, but it's it's still Seiko, and for the most part it lines up, I think. I can not click past. Yeah, it's pretty close. I don't know why I keep going past it, and it's going to bother me, and I know it's going to bother you guys too. So yeah, it lines up. So metal keeper, I'm not a huge fan of that. You guys know that, but the strap is nice enough. I could definitely do without that, but I could probably throw like an Uncle Seiko or something on here, and that would be just fine with me. Pretty good watch overall, $525 retail. You can use the SAKE25 code over at Mimo's, and you're going to get the 25% off. That puts it just under $394. I think that's a pretty legit price, getting it right from an AD. He has the patty and the black and white one in stock, but I'm sure he's going to sell out quick. These are going to be hot. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. There's the ISO thing and the patty tag, and you already seen the hang tag. Because you're wondering, there's Mimo's information. I'll put a link in the description as well. Authorized dealer. So you're going to get all that warranty, and that's where you should probably buy it, guys. In case you're wondering why it's called the Arnie, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He famously wore the original version. This is a reissue, the original version, back in the, 80-something, the Commando movie. So that's where it kind of got its nickname. Not kind of, that is where it has its nickname. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's check out that dual loom and something else cool that it does. So there you have mostly cool blue loom. You have the green minute hand and kind of a greenish pip up top there. But if you push the B button, you also get a light up digital display, which is awesome. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next vid.